Where's the rabbit's foot, Ethan? Mission Impossible 3 on the Mission Impossible month.
Yes, sir.
It's powered by nutrients. You know, we're thirsty boys.
Woof woof. I'm parched. Oh, core.
I got core water.
Okay, core hydration.
The bottles look cool.
That's why I got them.
You want to know something? When I usually go and get my drinks, I'm like, I'm going to get water because we've had so many different types of water on this podcast. We had the black water, we had the liquid death, we have, what else did we have?
Saratoga.
Saratoga
to be like Ashton Hall.
Yeah. Now we have the core water.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking in
which is great.
I was looking in the Sody Pop section, and nothing was standing out to me. So
where'd you go?
Marked in the square.
Interesting.
Right after work.
So what's the point of this big cat? Oh, okay. It's part of...
Yeah. I feel like I frequently see these.
Should I do this?
Holy shit!
Are you supposed to do that?
I don't know.
I like
the cap. There's like a big like bowl cap, and I took the cap off and poured the water in.
It's like a
cheers.
Huh? Pretty good. The bottle is made from 100% recycled plastic, so that's
which I can appreciate that.
And perfectly pH balanced.
I've never had core water.
Me neither. I think I always see the Podfather Bill Simmons drinking it though.
It's good though.
I was like, it's good enough for Bill.
Yeah, right.
I like it. Yeah, that's good. Good choice. Good pick.
Yeah, it's nice. What is the point of this cap?
I really don't.
I don't know.
I mean, and you see now. Okay, now.
Yeah, maybe it's not actually.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
thank you. I love water. You can't go wrong with water.
You think Tom Cruise drinks core water? What do you think his favorite water is?
Who?
Tom Cruise.
You can't go wrong with water.
Tops water.
Tops water.
Yeah, you can.
To all of our Western New York listeners.
Probably like. I was gonna say Voss, but
I was gonna say Voss too.
But I feel like that's just like the easy answer for like rich people. You know.
That's true. That's true. Maybe he's a man of the people.
Voss.
And drinks whatever's at his
Maybe
local
drinks like Poland Spring.
I don't know if they have that in his parts.
Did we mention that Pat and Billy are not here?
It's a 3-man pod for Mission Impossible 3.
They're
down 2 men today.
Jack is here, David's here, I'm here.
3 out of 5.
Pat and Billy are mission out.
Oh.
Mission out on Mission Impossible 3.
But you know what? We'll still get the job done.
We will.
We
always do.
You know, we can do this.
The true goods start next week.
Yeah. These last 3 have been the appetizer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's the appetizer. And now we're getting a 4-course meal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like start with Ghost Protocol. I watched this movie again last night. Not even last night. It was yesterday. It was at like 5:00.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I'd seen it a few times before, but I liked it more than I remembered. Because I feel like the first 3 in my head always just get overshadowed by them Quarry movies.
Yep.
And I guess he didn't do Ghost Protocol, but you know, Ghost Protocol on, and I was watching this, and this thing fucking moves. Like this movie just it starts and it really doesn't stop. I didn't remember that. This is we're still in the director changes. This was directed by J.J. Abrams. And we're going to talk about that eventually because there is some interesting behind-the-scenes stuff with this movie. It, of course, stars Tom Cruise as, you know, Ethan Hunt, the greatest American hero of all time. And Philip Seymour Hoffman is in this one as Owen Davian. You know, Ving Rhames is back. Simon Pegg's in this bitch. Michelle Monaghan's in here. Aaron Paul shows up for a scene and a half. That was a jump scare. This was released. We're recording this on April 30th, 2025. This was released on May 5th, 2006. So we are coming right up on the 19th anniversary.
Wow.
And do you guys know what else came out the same day?
Hoot?
Which is what put Mission Impossible month into order. Because when we were doing the Hoot pod, I was saying that Hoot came out same day as Mission Impossible 3. And then I was like, oh shit, like Mission Impossible month. So
Thank you, Hoot.
We've come full circle.
Hoot.
Thank you, Mullet Fingers.
Hoot has not been released yet. But it will be after all the Mission Impossibles. We're potting. We're working.
We're working.
Putting in work.
2006. we've done this with the last two MI movies, and I kind of just wanted to do it again for this one. I'm just going to keep doing them for all of them. Just for, I suppose, a bit of context for what movies were in 2006. Here are the top 10 highest grossing films of 06. We're in Bush term 2. Let's see what else was happening in 2006. High School Musical dropped on Disney Channel. War in Iraq's going on, I'm pretty sure. 2006. That might really be it. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like not a huge year unless I'm missing like a major world event. But
John Cena might have won the Royal Rumble that year. I don't remember.
Cena was cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
Let's see who won the Super Bowl in 2006. Any guesses?
2006. I'm gonna say
Dallas.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, but I'm gonna go with the Patriots. That's too early, I think.
Here,
like
it was Seahawks Steelers.
Okay, it was the Seahawks, right?
It was the Steelers.
What?
It was 21-10.
Wow. I mean, I'm just not early football guy, so
2006 Super Bowl. Who played the halftime show?
Let's see. The Rolling Stones.
Nice.
Bill Levy was the referee.
Oh. I'm incorrect. Rey Mysterio won the 2006 Royal Rumble. And what did he do with it? Fucking nothing, because he's a bum.
Okay, Dominic. I'm trying to get like
anything major from 06.
Swine flu pandemic hadn't hit yet. That was 08, I think.
Oh boy.
Chicken
pox.
Al Gore was making the rounds with his doc An Inconvenient Truth.
He was dropping bangers.
Yeah, after he lost the election a couple of years prior.
This was his crash out. This was Al Gore's crash out.
2006 was the year we decided to demote Pluto from a planet to a dwarf planet.
I remember that. No, I don't.
No, I do.
Nobody remembers that, in fact.
Well,
Disney buys Pixar.
Disney did buy Pixar in 2006.
Interesting.
Yeah. Shit, I just had something The Departed won Best Picture. Although I guess that happened in 2007, but that was deemed the best film of 2006. I might have to agree there. It's probably my favorite, at least. I mean, Children of Men is awesome too.
That's great. Yeah.
That might topple it in quality, but I love The Departed, man. There's another 06 banger. What is it? I'm forgetting. Maybe it was Children of Men.
Can't remember.
I have a question for you, Phil.
Okay.
Is DreamWorks is no longer its own thing, right? Or is it?
DreamWorks is now owned by Universal, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But like the DreamWorks animation department is still a thing. But if you watch a movie from like 20 years ago, like it was its own studio.
Its own thing, yeah.
Like DreamWorks Pictures.
Yeah.
Which it still is too. Like there have been some movies in the last few years that had a DreamWorks logo, but I think it's also with like an association with like Universal.
Universal, yeah.
We got two of our movies that
Talladega Nights.
Yep.
Talladega Nights.
And the Benchwarmers.
Who?
Who?
Marie Antoinette was pretty good. Oh, Casino Royale.
Casino
Royale was sick. All right, here are the top.
Nacho Libre.
How to Eat Fried Worms.
Here are the top 10 highest grossing films of 2006. I'm going to go from 10 to 1 again. I will say Mission Impossible 3 is not on the list. It did well, but a lot of other movies did well that year. Number 10, The Pursuit of Happiness.
Will Smith.
I haven't seen it.
Will Smith, Jaden Smith. Will Smith Oscar nominated for that one.
Have you seen it?
Have I seen it?
Yeah.
I saw it in school.
Yeah, I saw it in school. I think I may have watched it once after. But
we were watching it in the same class.
Yeah, not a bad movie.
That's all right.
It's all right.
Number 9, Casino Royale. First Daniel Craig Bond. Fantastic movie.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8, Ice Age: The Meltdown.
Nice.
That was the second one.
Wow, damn.
Number 7, Happy Feet. Were you guys Happy Feet guys?
I don't know as a child.
I don't know if I ever saw it.
But
I've seen it like once or twice.
Can't tell you the last time I was like Happy Feet.
Do you know who directed Happy Feet?
No.
Fucking George Miller.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's weird. Number 6, Superman Returns. This was with Brandon Routh. I think Kevin Spacey plays Lex Luthor. I never saw that one. Number 5, The Da Vinci Code. That was a big deal. It was a big book.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks adaptation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I believe Ron Howard directed that one. Number 4, X-Men: The Last Stand. That's the third one. I've heard not very good. I never saw it.
Never seen it. Neither have I.
Number 3, Cars.
Ooh.
First one.
Yeah, the first one.
I like Cars.
Is Cars? You see, no, I actually like Cars too. I just like. Is it an overrated movie? Do people
Cars?
like it a lot?
So Cars is weird in that it's not generally seen as one of Pixar's best works, but
Then
people
I'm with
our
that.
age
I'm
who
with
may
that.
have grown up with it, like fucking love it because
Yeah.
they saw it when they were like 5.
I grew up with
I
it.
like it, but
I
don't
did
think
it.
it's
I
good.
saw it. Like I saw it a few times as a kid, but I wasn't like. I was more of an Incredibles, Toy Story,
Yeah.
Monsters Inc. kind of guy.
Mhm.
I also was, but I was over the moon with Cars.
Yeah,
loved Cars.
I was indifferent to Cars. Number 2, Night at the Museum,
Nice.
Great.
banger.
Mm-hmm.
And then the highest grossing film of 2006 was Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest,
Nice.
with
Those things
a
made bank.
423,315,812 domestic gross.
Right.
Wow.
Those were big movies. I mean, Dead Man's Chest was the apex. That was Gore Verbinski was cooking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you look at Davy Jones in that movie in 2006, and then you look at, I don't know, Captain America: Brave New World 2025, and it's like, what happened?
Come on.
Yeah.
Avatar came out in 2009. What the fuck are we doing?
Nobody cares anymore.
Let's do Cruise and Hanks,
Yep.
which we've also been keeping track of. So, in Mission Impossible, we did the 90s. In Mission Impossible 2, we did the first half of the 2000s.
Now we're doing 05 to 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna do 05 to. I might do 05 to 09.
Okay.
Because Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation gets a little weird. So we're last left off with Cruise. We were in 2004 with Collateral. So here's how he closes out the 2000s. And this is where things might get these are where things get a little weird for him. You know, he does the Oprah couch jump. You know, people are starting to like this guy's a little odd. But you know what? He's the king. 2005, War of the Worlds.
Nice. Love that movie.
Reunites with Spielberg after Minority Report. It's pretty good. I liked it.
I love that movie.
2006, Mission Impossible 3. Here's a weird outlier. 2007, there's a movie, you know, like, it's weird to think of a Tom Cruise movie that, like, no one really knows or talks about ever. There's a movie from 2007 called Lions for Lambs that I feel like never gets mentioned ever.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
And then 2008, Tropic Thunder, he's Les Grossman.
Oh,
And Valkyrie, where I believe he played a Nazi with one eye. And that is the latter half of the 2000s for him. It's not many films, but it's not.
good enough for 4 years.
I mean, War of the Worlds, Tropic Thunder, Mission Impossible 3, that's pretty good.
It's really good.
Tom Hanks, I think where we left off with him, we were at 2004 with the Polar Express and the Lady Killers. So here is Tom Hanks in the latter half of the 2000s. 2006, The Da Vinci Code, which, as we mentioned earlier, was a big movie. 2007, Charlie Wilson's War, which also had Philip Seymour Hoffman in that one. He cameos as himself in the Simpsons movie. 2009, I guess, The Great Buck Howard.
Never heard of it.
I'm not normally taken aback by movies that major movie stars are in. I've never heard of The Great Buck Howard. And then Angels and Demons, which was the sequel to The Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, I gotta go Cruise for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great stretch for either of them, I guess, but Les Grossman in Mission Impossible 3
Yeah, you
pretty
can't-
easily put.
compared to Hank.
I love the
yeah.
Simpsons movie, you know, pretty memorable cameo in it. They're gonna destroy Springfield and build a new Grand Canyon, and he's the spokesman in the ad. But you know, in War of the Worlds, he's throwing there's a very popular scene online, I feel like, in War of the Worlds, where he's throwing a baseball with his son.
Yeah.
A lot of people have words to say about his throwing stance.
I'd never seen anything on that before, but
We might have to pull up the clip.
I've seen the video. I don't know if I've ever seen people talking about his stance.
No, I've seen some real critiques on his throw.
oh,
Poor guy.
yeah.
Well,
trying.
you know,
Yeah.
if this happened now, he probably would have practiced with a pitcher for 9 months.
Yeah. No, well, it probably inspired him to, I don't know, if in case he gets like.
It's more just ball busting instead of real, genuine critique. Like, I don't know if anyone has like a telestrator and they're like circle in his like hand movement.
They definitely are.
Towards like, look at this guy. So here's something I was looking into. I was taking notes and research on the production of the movie, and I can't believe I didn't know any of this. Get ready. So obviously, this comes out 6 years after 2, pretty big gap. 10 years after the first one. So in 2002, they were getting things into motion with David Fincher set to direct.
Whoa.
Yeah. I was like, how the fuck did I not hear about this?
Why didn't they take 4 years after that?
Well, here's a quote from Fincher, who left due to creative differences and made Zodiac, which is one of his best movies. I think the problem with third movies is the people who are financing them are experts on how they should be made and what they should be. At that point, when you own a franchise like that, you want to get rid of any extraneous opinions. I think franchise filmmaking is just not in Fincher's bag.
What's up with him doing third movies?
Yeah, Alien 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's just not his thing. I think he's a very meticulous guy. He kind of just wants to do 70 takes of Jake Gyllenhaal throwing a notepad in Zodiac.
Probably would have been a completely different movie.
Then I realized we've never had a Fincher Cruise collab.
Yeah.
That's 2 energies on set. I'd like to see how that would go.
We probably never will.
No, well, fucking David Fincher's never going to make a movie again. I feel like he's had so many projects be his next thing and just never happened.
Well, isn't this next thing happening? But it's Netflix.
The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? I'm going to believe that when I see it. Because
I know.
He's had many other... He was supposed to do a Squid Game English adaptation.
Oh, yeah. Wait, that's canceled?
I feel like there's just so many projects that like never just come to fruition.
Yeah.
There were talks about him remaking Strangers on a Train.
I heard about that.
That never happened. He was gonna. This was like years in talks. He was going to do World War Z 2.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
didn't happen.
Would have been awesome.
So yeah, I'll believe the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel when I see it. But like, he's just stuck in Netflix. It's sad because he's like one of my 3 favorite filmmakers of all time. So Fincher. He's been with Netflix since the beginning. He was like a producer on House of Cards. Like he was like
he's
big. He was like big in
Mindhunter.
Mindhunter, yeah. He hasn't made a real theatrical film since Gone Girl. Mank and The Killer are good movies, but like
crazy,
they barely exist. Yeah, they're just on a server. They're not. The Criterion hasn't even issued.
David Fincher, step it up! Come on, man.
Dude, we love you. I love you so much, and I know you're listening. I don't care that you didn't make Mission Impossible 3. I just want you to come back.
Mm-hmm. He's listening to us right now saying, all right.
Yeah.
Right. I'll come back.
Like, I made some of the greatest films.
He's calling Netflix right now.
You know what? You're right.
I made Social Network. I made 7. But you know what? I've got room for notes.
Exactly.
So Fincher leaves. His chosen replacement was not J.J. Abrams. There was another guy, Joe Carnahan. He was developing this for 15 months. So he was going to work on this. And his version of the movie would have featured Kenneth Branagh, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Scarlett Johansson. They all would have been in this. Then he quits in 2004. Why? Just creative differences again. So, things are looking kind of dire here.
Yeah.
Cruise calls up JJ.
Let's get this done.
And he's like, I watched Alias, great show. That's what I have. Is he called him and
that's awesome.
He offered him a job because he was impressed with the TV series Alias, and Abrams was just like that. But production was delayed again because he had commitments to both Alias and Lost, 2 big shows. So, but things eventually came to fruition. So we got a movie.
At that point in time, there must have been smoke coming out of Tom Cruise's ears.
Oh, he was probably...
I mean, he kept busy. He worked in this time since Mission Impossible 2. He's had Vanilla Sky, Collateral, Last Samurai, Minority Report, War of the World. So he's worked with Spielberg twice, Michael Mann, Cameron Crowe again. Like, he's a booked and busy man himself.
Right.
And we fans were patient.
Yeah.
I was a very patient 4-year-old.
Yeah.
So then a lot of names were just like attached to this movie that I didn't know, not just from the director's standpoint. So in the cast, Ricky Gervais was cast and left. There was some speculation that it was for the role of Benji Dunn. Simon Pegg denied this. It was another role.
That went crazy.
Yeah. And Billy Bob Thornton was offered the Hoffman role, and he said he didn't want to be typecast as a villain. So, but,
respect.
you know, he gave a great speech to the team in Friday Night Lights. You know, he probably, I don't know why Owen Davian would have been giving Ethan Hunt a motivational speech, but like Billy Bob could have pulled it off. So where does this one rank for you guys so far?
Out of the 3, it's hard. Honestly, I'll probably go backwards. I'll probably go 3, 2, 1. But 2 and 3 are like right on top of each other. Like those can switch any day for me.
I like this one a lot more than I remembered, and I remember liking it.
I probably got to go 2, 3, 1.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like 2. Like tomorrow, I feel like I can wake up and be like, I like 2 better.
2 just has some insane highs.
2 and 3 are really. I mean, they're both really good.
I think 3 is far more consistent, but 2, when it gets going, it's nuts.
Right.
I love the immediate noticeable filter change of 3, like right when the movie starts, like the weird filter over it.
Oh, like the cinematography.
The color scheme, yeah. Yeah, you just already picture it right off the bat.
I will say, until you just said that right now, I didn't think about it. I didn't notice it.
First thing I noticed.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't mind it. I was just saying,
Yeah, all these, I mean, all, like, 1 and 2.
They have very different...
Yeah,
well, that's what happens when you
very
bring different
different
directors.
Yeah, they're
very different.
You know, De Palma and Wu have different looks, and Abrams brings his own.
I wonder what the thing was with, making movies look like that. Like, that weird color.
You mentioned that a lot, and I've never noticed.
You know, I don't know. Like, I always say, Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning just feels like a gross movie because it's that, yellowish tint over this, the entire movie. It's so weird.
No, I know what you mean, yeah.
That one, I'm guessing, I've never seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, but I'm guessing it's just for the, middle of nowhere desert grimy vibes, but I really can't say.
More prominent because of, the theme of the movie, but it's I don't know. I feel like a lot of early, ish 2000, early to late, mid, 2000s, have that.
I've heard other people say that. I guess I've just never really noticed.
I don't really mind. I'm just I wonder what the thing about what that is. I don't know.
Minority Report has a very distinct, kind of drab look, but I think that's intentional.
But it's not as strong. I forgot it was even there. It's the first thing I noticed, and then
did you notice it, David?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Interesting.
It's just it's not like you're talking about the very first scene when he's sitting in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of yellowish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh yeah, I can picture that.
Because it's just think about the look of 1. It's just completely.
Yeah, 1's pretty cold.
Yeah, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Like Hancock, I'm pretty sure Hancock has that same thing.
I haven't seen Hancock recently.
And I don't know why.
I believe you though.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's not that it's bothering me. It's just something I noticed.
When do you think it died out?
It's tough to say, really.
Probably 2010s.
Yeah, I think when I was watching 2012, when I was watching that movie, that still had it.
That was 2009. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was still going
I guess it depends on the movie too.
Yeah,
sometimes
it depends.
It's just a feeling though. It's I know, I get the same feeling from that look from trying to think, that one scene in Pain and Gain when they're in the apartment and he drops the weight on the dude's head, that scene gives me the same gross.
I don't know. I've never noticed.
It's just the color of the movie. It's just I don't really understand. I don't really know how to explain it, but
I love that scene in Pain and Gain.
I don't know. It's weird.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying
when we're zooming through the house and Anthony Mackie's doing push-ups on the table and Mark Wahlberg is in negotiations with the porn king.
Yeah, it's awesome. No, it's just gross.
I'm not an amateur. I work hard. I do work fucking hard.
He's a doer.
He is. That's the best movie ever. No, the fact that they tried to make movies after that is shameful.
They should just stop.
Yeah, I think in 2013 they could have been all right, wrap it up, guys.
What would we be doing?
I mean, just digging further into the past.
I guess.
we wouldn't have so much slop anymore because Michael Bay would have cleaned up the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Been like, I'm in Ottawa. We wouldn't have had ambulance.
No.
But I think I like Painting Game more anyway. No disrespect to Danny Sharp.
Ambulance.
Best scene. Let's get into categories.
Let's do it.
I have a lot of scenes for this because, like I said, this thing just moves. I've got the opening just right off the bat. Very disorienting. Ethan,
Mm-hmm.
in the chair. Folks are where's the rabbit's foot? Can I kiss you on the mouth there, please?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and then just like with the shit in his brain. Just interesting way to start this one. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? I've got the rescue operation for Lindsay Ferris that doesn't go well. It's going all right at first, and then
fucking eye.
Dude.
Yeah, that noise.
That was so gross. I was not expecting it to be like that.
Yeah, just sudden.
I expected maybe like an explosion, but then it just happened. I was like, oh.
I forgot what happened to her when I was watching this.
Yeah,
because I only seen the once. I don't know why I forgot, but I didn't even remember she died. I mean, I knew she died. I just didn't remember who she died.
Suddenly.
And then the escape with the helicopters from that scene.
Yeah, whole scene's good.
The windmills.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going up.
Yeah. Insane.
When the one helicopter there's the explosion that bursts out of the flames.
You know what?
Reminiscent of 2.
You know what? This scene just kind of this scene showed off that the camera was really shaky in this movie.
Yes,
there's a lot of shaking.
No,
a lot of shaky cam in this.
There's so many cuts.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was like, I wonder what the average shot length in this one is.
Oh, it was crazy.
Especially when you get to Fallout and there's so many good long cuts or long takes. Yeah, I noticed that for sure. I may have been blind to the tint, but the shaky cuts and the super close up, I was like, holy shit.
A lot of shaking.
This is a short one, but I just kind of liked it. The Vatican bathroom with the 2 Hoffmans.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just what a scenario, the voice thing's not ready yet, but his goon is right there, just and then in the shot you see
the 2 fingers.
Yeah. And then they got the actual Hoffman right behind the door.
Yeah.
It was great.
Imagine the security guard just turned around.
Yeah.
What if he just turned around?
So
yeah.
The whole scene at the Vatican's really good too. With he's like, that's okay. I always get red wine on a custom white shirt. Next, I a lot of these are just in rapid succession. So right after that, I've got the plane when they've got Hoffman subdued, and he's just like, "Do you have a wife? I'll kill her. She's gonna scream your name." And then Ethan opens up the. He's just like, "Ah!" And then Luther's like, "Ethan, no." Great Luther content in this movie,
Hoffman was ready for it. He was accepting death.
Yeah,
Luther saved him.
Fucking Luther. I've got the whole. Basically, this is right after that. Just all this shit on the bridge.
I have that up until he gets tased in the parking lot.
Yeah, the whole chase to the hospital.
Insane.
He calls up Aaron Paul. It's really good.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is getting his cardio in.
He's going get on. Yeah. I've got when they first are in Shanghai and he's gonna jump from one building to the other.
Yep.
I always love a good scene where it's nighttime in a big. Usually, I feel Asian cities and they've got the lights. I feel there are a lot of good Tokyo content, or even LA, Blade Runner.
Yeah,
has a lot of that. And then I've got they're still in Shanghai here, but just the Cruise v Hoffman exchanging blows, beating the shit out of each other. That PSH's death in this movie is crazy. He just turns over and there's the POV shot of the car just and then it cuts to Cruise under the car and it's like a Looney Tunes. It's just everything's gone. Did I miss any?
The shoe.
You pretty much named them all for me. Yeah, that's all I had. That shoe bouncing in the street.
Pet Cemetery.
Speaking of, we gotta do Pet Cemetery.
I go with I like the bridge scene a lot.
I think I'm gonna go with that too. So I was watching that and that's when I realized I was like, wow, this thing hasn't taken a minute. everything is just going.
Yeah.
I forget what Luther. I'm going with the bridge scene too, but I forget what Luther says during this scene. Like the something 57's in the car or something like that. Like the big gun.
The big gun.
Yeah, the big gun. He's
C-30 or something.
Yeah, something weird like that.
I love Luther.
But I'm going with bridge scene. Yeah, it's the best for me.
Best quote. I have. So I'm sure you guys know, but like I love a scene in which like our protagonists are getting their ass chewed out by an angry boss, and I liked when we first see Lawrence Fishburne as Theodore Brassel over the botched rescue op, and he's going nuclear. And he's like, "This is intelligence. So far, I haven't seen any." It reminded me of a film that was released this same day, when Officer Delinko is getting his ass eaten out. His ass chewed out by his boss, and he's like, "Officer terminated." I couldn't remember the full line, but I love angry authority figures. Ice Cube in 21 Jump Street,
Yes,
stuff like that. The guy in Samurai Cop. Do you remember that guy?
No, what guy? Sorry.
The captain in Samurai Cop.
No.
Oh, dude.
So I don't know why.
He's just
that movie's kind of a blur to me. To be honest.
No, dude. So this guy is like he's Samurai Cop and his partner. I don't remember the partner's name. They're having their usual like cop movie like talk with the captain, and he's probably chugging Pepto, and he says something like his eyes are closed. He's like, feels like there's a fissure in my ass. It hurts. Got to figure out a way to get it out of there. And then like his eyes are closed, and his partner. Samurai Cop's partner like leans down and like kisses his forehead, and they both like run out laughing. And he stands up and he's like, "You son of a bitch, get back here, you motherfucker!" and then like the camera holds on him for a really like oddly long after, and we see him kind of like slowly sit down. That movie had a lot of those.
Like it was like it just kept
going. It was horribly edited.
Yeah, horribly edited.
I love it.
I mean, that movie makes me happier than most movies, though. So honestly, like maybe it was majestically edited. Did you have a quote?
You already mentioned it, but it was the Hoffman. I always spill red wine on my custom-made shirt.
Yeah. Just like socialite at a party at the Vatican.
Yep.
Just like, oh, okay. Jack, do you have a quote?
I had a few. Yeah, I had "Welcome Back, Brother" by Luther.
Nice.
And then I don't know. I added this one in, but when he's like shoots like the zip line on top of the Vatican wall, he's like Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall.
That too, yeah.
And then obviously the red wine quote. I mean, I'm sure that's in everyone's. And then I don't know, I forget what was going on during the scene, but Luther screamed to Ethan. He's like, "Ethan, don't do it. This isn't you."
That's when Ethan opens up the plane door and he's
Hoffman's hanging out. Yeah, when he's got him hanging out.
He's like, "This isn't you."
And then I got one from Brassel. He goes, "I will bleed on the flag to make sure the stripes stay red." Hell yeah.
He's upside down.
Hell yeah, brother. So yeah, that's all I got.
All right, here's a first. This is the first time we've done a movie where I didn't have a sixth man.
I actually didn't either.
There aren't many side characters in this. I guess Aaron Paul.
That's who I put, but it was like for me, it was like that's just too easy.
Yeah, it's like that's just.
But like no, I couldn't have anybody else other than that. No,
I got one.
Okay, who do you have?
Julia's sister's husband. From the beginning.
Does he do anything notable? Is he the guy who shakes Ethan's hand?
He shakes Ethan's hand, yeah. And then he pops up again, and he's just kind of standing there. That's all.
Does he have any lines?
No.
I did also put...
Or maybe like when he greets Ethan.
You thought it was a good handshake?
Yeah, I was like, that's my guy.
I did also put Hoffman's big bodyguard dude.
Oh,
yeah. I thought I was scouting him and I was scouting Aaron Paul, but I couldn't fully get there with either of them. Because Aaron Paul doesn't really do much, but for me, I'm like, holy shit, like pre-Breaking Bad Aaron Paul. Like, I wasn't expecting him to be hugging Tom Cruise. And then, I guess Hoffman's bodyguard is kind of like in the spirit of the guy from MI2 who had the Ethan mask, just like this fucking guy.
And when I wrote down Julia's sister's husband, I was like, oh, like maybe this won't be a sixth man. Like maybe he'll like have some part of the movie, but he did not. So I was like, well, perfect.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't even have a line, it seems like.
Yeah.
Best shot. I've got this Steadicam shot that's keeping up with Tom Cruise absolutely booking it toward the end in Shanghai when he's like running through.
He's going for a while too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, this shot is holding on him ever.
And he's really getting his cardio in.
Yeah,
Once again.
He's so far out of all these. This is the one where he runs the most.
Yeah.
For sure. Did you guys have the best shot?
I put when the windmill helicopter scene when it comes out of the fire.
Yeah. It's kind of like an MI2 when he
Mhm.
comes out of the explosion on the motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
I have two. When we first see Bishop Tom, when he's dressed up in like the
when he's in like the cardinal outfit.
Yeah, I got that one when we first see him, and then the missile hitting the truck, and Ethan gets like deflected midair.
And he hits the car.
Yeah,
And it gets up and books it again.
I love explosion deflections in midair, like in Tropic Thunder, like when he's running from the bridge and he jumps and it explodes, and then he gets deflected to the side. It's awesome.
It's ridiculous.
Like it's so much like G-force. You're getting flung to the side. The blast radius. So insane.
Best moment I have when they're on the bridge and there's a shot of Ethan and the helicopter comes up with all the guys in it. And I was like, oh hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I have quite a few.
Okay.
So I have the it's towards the beginning when I think they're trying to get what's her name out.
Lindsay.
And she's like, are you out?
Mm.
And then he like
Shoots
shoots
one
and then
bullet,
he's like, no,
headshot.
I'm out.
No.
That was yeah.
I got
She's like, how many rounds you got?
I got
No.
also earlier in the movie. I just put so it's when Ethan. It's just the scene where Ethan gets home, like somber music's playing, and like he comes in. I just put Daddy's home. I don't know. He's home.
Bag in his hand.
I put when the Ethan and the other guy are in like the outfits and they're like yelling at each other in the different language, like the distraction.
Oh, when they're on their way to the Vatican.
Oh yeah.
And then I put the explosion when he flies into the car.
Jack.
You
gotta have the handshake between the six man, right?
Yeah, I got that, and then I have once again the how many rounds you got. Enough. Shoots one bullet. I'm out. And then I thought it was cool how we got to see like the making of the mask, like the masks that they have in each other. I thought that was pretty cool. And then I got Tom sliding down the building, like shooting people mid slide. And then I got Cruz running in Shanghai, just
so
awesome. And then when Cruz and Davian are fighting, and he's like elbowing him like that. He's like got his hands like because his head is in so much pain. He's like and he's like elbowing him. That's all I got.
Can you imagine just the pain noises we would have gotten if Ben Stiller played Ethan Hunt?
Oh my god!
When he's got the charge in his brain,
dude.
He's like, I feel like no one exclaims in pain more than Ben Stiller. So like, that would have been insane. Ed Harris, I had Theodore Brassel.
I had him too.
Played by Lawrence Fishburne. Just any hard ass authority figure.
Yeah,
that's
perfect for him.
Yeah, that's where Ed thrives.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I did have like two side notes.
Okay.
And, one of them being was we should bring back self-destructing messages.
Yeah.
Just like things that self-destruct.
This message will self-destruct in 30 seconds.
And we've gotten that in each one.
In Fallout?
No.
Dead Reckoning.
I'm going to assume that we do get a self-destructing message in each one. I do like...
Has there been one in each one so far?
Each one there.
So you had the sunglasses that exploded into the title.
Yeah, first one was on the plane?
Oh, yeah, with John Voight.
Maybe we do.
Yeah, I think we probably do.
Yeah. I can't.
IMF spares no expense.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got this twice, and we had it in the other two movies as well. Like falling to the ground and then getting caught.
No, dude, I thought of you when that happened.
Right above the ground, hovering above the ground by like one wire coming out of the middle of your back. Just like...
I love it.
I love that.
He has he has like it's like a measurement thing that he has.
Yeah.
Like that he puts on and then he has to do it. Yeah, I don't know.
I really hope that we get that in every single one. I really
I don't think we got it in 2, did we?
We did.
We did?
Yeah, it was I gotta go back to it. Cause,
obviously I can picture 1.
Because I know we got 1 and 2.
No, I think we did get 1 and 2 because I remember thinking about it.
What is it?
I must have just missed it.
No.
I'm looking at my notes right now because I know we have 1.
I believe him.
Okay.
Any other like final thoughts on Mission Impossible 3? It's kind of a quickie, but
Yeah, well, I mean we're down 2. If we had 2 more people here, we would have went another 10, 20 minutes probably. But
is it when he sneaks into the building to go destroy the virus, right? And he's falling through the shutters, and he.
Yep.
I love that, dude. I'm just taking notes every single movie. Like, if we get him hanging from the ceiling from a wire and a self-destructing message, I'm keeping my eye out for that in the coming episodes.
Speaking of those types of things, I guess we had no freeze frame,
no title drop, no
gambling.
So
we probably won't get them for. We'll probably go 0 for 3 for all of them. I can't picture any of them that feature gambling.
No, yeah, you're right.
Two was close.
No, 2 had gambling.
Oh yeah,
with the horse race.
Yeah,
she put on a big.
I think they might go to a casino and Ghost Protocol.
Okay,
so maybe gambling, but
no of the other 2.
Yeah, they're not gonna say Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol.
So what did you guys watch this on?
I have the Blu-ray.
Paramount Plus.
Paramount.
All right.
Yeah.
I think I've been bouncing between Paramount and Prime.
They're on both. I have the 4K box set, so I have all of them. I'm just doing Paramount, I guess.
And every time I search, I just search MI1, MI2.
Really? And they come up?
Yeah, they pop up.
That's sick.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, we'll see you next week for Ghost Protocol.
Where we get to the goods.
Protocol, baby. I'm hyped.
Burj Khalifa.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
She got a great ass. And you got your head all the way up it.